fight fans, Dallas Danger here, welcoming you into an action-packed edition of World Fighting Showcase Showdown. We have so much in store for you on the program, including a special appearance by the Ultimate Athlete, David Anthony, the WFS American Champion. He'll be in action here on this edition of Showdown. Also, we will have Crash Cassidy competing inside the ring for the first time since losing the television championship to Murphy Costigan. Thanks very much to Bo James, Costigan's new advisor. We've seen Cassidy, but not in competition, so we know his temper is flaring, and there's no telling what that has awakened in him. We will find out today as he is in action. And in our television main event here on the program today, it's all come down to this. The Heat Seekers, Elliott Russell and Sigmund, they will be defending the World Tag Team Championships against the troublemaker Brian Logan and sensational Wayne Atkins. And there's so much more than the titles on the line in that affair. Brian Logan trying to get back those coveted boots that the Heat Seekers have been wearing around and utilizing in recent memory. All of that, everything you've come to expect from WFS Showdown. We're going to get right to it. Jonathan Darwin and Abel Graves are at ringside. Let's go to them right now.
This is Jonathan Darwin here with Abel Graves. Thanking you again for tuning into World Fighting Showcase Showdown. And Abel, what a treat the viewing audience has here at home. Normally you have to come out to a WFS live event to see David Anthony, or you gotta pony up some cash for that iPad review. Absolutely. So this is amazing to see David Anthony on title match out here. Drew Hood, he's got his work cut out for him against the Ultimate Athlete. Drew Hood has been coming up in the ranks here in the World Fighting Showcase. His style is very intriguing. The fans seem to appreciate what he has to offer, and he really needs to turn it up here against David Anthony. Anthony, over, pin here, two! The lightning speed technique that David Anthony has to offer. As a champion, as a competitor, the man knows himself inside the ring, and he gets to know his competitors pretty well. All it takes is a couple of maneuvers. He learns them pretty well, and counters, reverses, counters, reverses. David Anthony, that's why he's the World Fighting Showcase champion. Yes, yes it is. Look at that, Anthony up just that quickly, and rolls through, but he's trying to get out of it, and he gets the reversal finally on good. Well, you're going to see a lot of give and take between these two competitors. Right now, they might be feeling each other. Right on the pin! Real quick decision making on the side of David Anthony. Yeah, David Anthony, he thought at that moment he had an opportunity to capitalize and get that pin. Look at Anthony now. He's just got him down. He's cinching him in. And you see, look at the way that Hood's got his side head locked. David Anthony's got that other one locked in for leverage. Both men cross to the center of the ring. Yeah, but this is a very special opportunity. Hood hot dog. Hood just. Yeah, Hood had everything going for him. Just jaw-jacking. Oh my God. Okay, Anthony's going for that armbar. Could he be going for it here? This is how David Anthony, I've seen him end lots of matches with that patented armbar. Yeah, and I tell you what, he can throw it on from just about anywhere. Jonathan, I've seen it and witnessed it and experienced it firsthand. And you know the damage you can do just as quick as a snap of a finger. Oh, it's instant pain. Right now, Drew Hood showing that instant pain we were just talking about. A little worse for wears. Tries to cinch up instead. David Anthony's met with it. And the axe handle by Hood keeps Anthony down. Probably knows at this point that he's not going to be able to wrestle. Yeah, he's going to have to go deep to the well on what he can find as he puts the boots to David Anthony. See the box is playing by the rules. Oh, my.
Come on, champ! Come on, champ!
Look at that. Look at that. I mean, Anthony isn't able to breathe at all. But at least Drew Hood's not breaking any rules. What, pushing the foot on the throat? Perfectly legal? 5 maybe. Over the pin here. 2 count only, and the Ultimate Athlete kicks out. And that could not have felt good. I felt that from my seat. Yeah. See, that's where I think about Hood. Just that split second there, giving it to the fans, that could be the game changer here in this bout. Oh, I absolutely agree with you, Jonathan. If he showboats too much, then really, we can see his moves. The ladies might like it, but I want to see him hurt the champion. And maybe get a shot at David Anthony's champion. Let that flip. No, Anthony. Oh, he's going for that armbar again. He doesn't have it. Drew Hood's got his hand. He's holding the throw back from being stretched out. If he can get his fingers unlocked, if David Anthony gets Drew Hood's fingers unlocked. Nice reversal. Yeah. The one thing about that move is that if you can roll up David Anthony and get that pin, if he's holding on, sure, he might rip your arm out, but technically, that could be a win. Yeah. Now, Hood looking down. See, Hood wasting time again, though, Abel. Is he wasting time, or is he checking to see where he's going to hit him next? I think he was just checking to see where he was going to hit him next. You see, like I said before, Drew hit, everything he does is precise. He's exact. Anthony now down into the corner. What else are you going to do to a man when he's down facing the turnbuckle? Of course you're going to use the ring. It's not an honorable thing to do, though. Honor has nothing to do with it. There he goes again, moving his opponents into the corner. You see, Hood, great, complete dominance at this point. And Hood's smart there because he's going to work on the same spot of the spine he was. Smart to try to make the pin as well. Sure, down, go for the pin. This is a title match after all. Both men are trying to win, not just for ownership of that World Fight Showcase Championship title. Possibly. I mean, Dallas Danger did say it was not for the title, but who knows? Well, if he beats him tonight, it's a non-title match, but if he beats him tonight, wouldn't that make him number 1 contender? Oh, 100%. 100%. So it's more than just prestige here on the line. Yeah, it pushes right up. Has to know that. Look at the speed of the Ultimate Athlete. Oh, wait a minute. He caught him in midair. What the hell? Go back there. His shoulders are up. Rolls it. 1, 2. Come on. Wow. Nice counter reversal there. Yeah. Good. Drew Hood searched for the clothesline. Got it. David Anthony in control. Wait, no. Oh, that knee. What goes to right suplex into a pinning combination. David Anthony holds on. Hit back out. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. No, and who doesn't have it? I think Hood interlaced his fingers again. If he could just get his fingers released, he's got it. He could. No. Hood's so close. Hood, I can't believe he rolled out. I can't. DDT. My good God. Yeah, but look at the way that Hood's nursing that left arm. He can't even get over to make the pin on Anthony. I think it's over there, too. Very smart by David Anthony. Yeah, putting those foot on the rope stops the pin. Drew Hood's arguing with the referee. He really needs to be spending more time focused on David Anthony. David Anthony seems to be coming to a call. Yeah, Worthy's right behind him. You better watch out, schoolboy. Two count though. David Drew Hood, obviously. Sizing. I was going to say something, but I'm going to say something. Anthony. Oh, he looks like he's ready to go for the cheat meal. He really needs to try and put him away. Whoa, David Anthony like a spider monkey climbing on him. Goes back. Rolls him over into the... Does he have it? He's got it locked in. The Kuchi Katame is locked in, and David Anthony wins.
Here's your winner, the ultimate athlete, David Anthony.
The American champion, victorious. But I mean, give it to Hood. He took it to the American champion. He took it to the American champion, but the American champion gave him a beating. Yeah, and David Anthony shows just how devastating he could be with that arm bar. We're going to have more World Fighting Showcase for you after this commercial message.
Dallas Danger standing by outside of the dressing room with Crash Cassidy, who is now the former television champion, thanks to Murphy Costigan and his new advisor, Bo James. And I can tell by the look on your face, Crash, that you are in a different mindset than we've ever seen you before, and you have something on your mind for Murphy and Bo James.
Murphy, you're nothing but a coward. And Bo James, you're just a snake. You two have me mad. And when I'm mad, I get mean. I'm about to show you what mean means.
Legends of the territories, greats of the arena, matches you will see nowhere else. WrestleRewind.com, the streaming network for real wrestling fans. 30-day free trial, monthly and yearly subscription rates, members only exclusive content. If you miss how it was, come stream with us and we'll remind you how it is. WrestleRewind.com, the network for real wrestling fans.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted superfans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore. House of Kayfabe featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
Fight fans, Dallas Danger here, and if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week, but you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider. Well, fight fans, Dallas Danger here, and I'm going to do my best to get some answers. The new television champion, once again, Murphy Costigan, and his new advisor, I guess we can call him, Bo James. Bo, tell us all, why Murphy Costigan, why now?
I advise you to hold the microphone right here and shut up. Look right here. Who did you ever beat? We just beat Crash Cassidy, the champion. This man never lost a title. He was mistreated by this organization the same way I was. He was a victim to politics and backstage backstabbing. He was a victim to fair-haired boys and favoritism. But what happens when you go out there and beat the man with the title? You become the champion. And I told you last week that we are the new dealers. I'm the dealer. And you don't know if I'm dealing from the bottom or from the top. You don't know what I've got up my sleeve next. You don't know what's coming next. But I know this. I know David Anthony is on the list, and we're going to warn him right now, because this title right here puts this young man in line for you, David Anthony, and I got a score to settle with you for this shoulder injury. Now, you're going to try to tell us who we're going to defend the title against. You're going to try to tell us when we have to defend the title. You're going to try to tell us what we have to do. No more. We make the rules as long as he has that title. We say when, we say how long, we say how much you pay us, we say against who. So I don't care who you are. I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how mean you are. I don't care what this man right here and Jonathan and everybody else has pumped you up to believe. You're not as bad as us. You're not as tough as us. You're not as smart as us. You're not going to beat us. And you're not going to leave with that title. So I'm going to put you on notice once again right here. And I'm going to put you on notice. And you take it to all the higher ups. You take it to whoever. If they want a title shot, they talk to me. I advise him who, when, and where. Now, you don't deserve this to get to talk to the champion, but I'm going to let you speak to him right now.
Well, Murphy Costigan, you've got a big grin on your face.
What did I say last time we talked, Dallas? Foolish man wears his heart on his sleeve. Smart man has tricks up his. And who better to teach me that than the dealer himself, Bo James? You see, Crash Cassidy, did you honestly think I was coming to you without a plan? You got lucky once, I'll give you that.
The referee was in his pocket too.
Most likely, I agree with you there. But, Crash, I don't make the same mistake twice. I underestimated you. No longer. Now, as I said thousands of times, more of this, less of this. Bo James and myself, we have quite a few things in common. People look at us and they see two different people. However, one thing that makes us so much alike, we both enjoy hurting people who are beneath us.
And I wrote the book on dirty. So get ready, boys. Hell is coming to breakfast.
Hope you're hungry.
Are you done? Then get out of here. Very good. All right. You good?
All right, we got Crash Cassidy in his first match since losing that television champion. His opponent, Mike the Man. Man, did the man get the wrong ball here? He really did. I mean, I might not have it. I've got some I don't believe anybody should be suffering at the hands of Crash Cassidy, especially after what he's just done. Yeah, Crash is seeing red like the color of his trunk. And the way he's taking it to Man. Crash is all up there. Anytime anyone's with Crash, well, that's why we call him Crash, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you see the tile from the previous event here. It was taken out. Jawbreaker though, and Man slowing Cassidy down there. He's gonna have to. That's a lot of man to want to slow down. Yes, it is. But Cassidy whipped the Man straight over that corner, up and down. Great hip toss. Polish height. Couple feet, at least 6 feet in the air. The fans certainly appreciate it here in the World Fighting Showcase. Yes, they do. Man looked over at Crash. Well, he just scored the man at this point. Slam, overhead, two. Got that. And again, like I said, I might not be the biggest fan of Mike the Man, but no one deserves it. Oh! Now Mike the Man, well, apparently I was about to say nobody deserves a beating at the hands of Crash Cassidy, but man decided to chop chop block of his own and take out the knees of Crash Cousin.
Well, the thing is, that knee may not be 100% healed when Crash had to defend his television championship against the Sky Sensation.
Absolutely 100% correct. Murphy Cosgrove put an awful lot of pressure on that knee than when the last thing hit.
See? Both men. A drop kick. They can't.
Never stop at just one, Mike.
No.
He almost made Mike part of the ring.
Crash with a devastating lariat, two times though.
Now, there's a lot of fighting Mike man. He's an honest to God competitor. You see him on TV here from ringside. I just gotta tell you that looked like it hurt.
Yeah. Crash, I mean, going back to his football days.
That's what I mean. Don't stop at just one, Jonathan.
Leapfrog, my man, didn't get what he needed to take down Cassidy. Cassidy's got him. Gunslinger.
That might be the best Cassidy needed to take the fight.
Here's your winner, Crash Cassidy!
Crash Cassidy back on the winning streak here. And you gotta think, Abel, it's only a matter of time before he gets his hands on Murphy Costigan.
I can't wait to see that.
We'll have more World Fighting Showcase.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted superfans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore. House of Kayfabe featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
So you think you've seen it all? Not even close. Live arena footage, fan cams, the lost Boston Garden matches of Bruno Sammartino. It's WrestleRewind.com. 30-day free trial, monthly and yearly subscription rates, members only content. It's WrestleRewind.com, the network for real wrestling fans and the ones who think they've seen it all.
Fight fans, Dallas Danger here, and if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week, but you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
Take a look
very closely at the right boot of Sigmund, you will see the letters BL. The Heat Seekers interrupting Brian Logan's retirement speech and taking his boots, those sacred boots that he has worn in such matches as when he defeated Larry Zbyszko. Now Logan in there. He's been wanting to get his hands on these guys for a long time. He told me earlier today, you know what, Jonathan? As much as I want my boots back, I want to knock these guys down a peg, and an inverted atomic drop there and a clothesline by the troublemaker. As I was saying, Logan was telling me earlier today that he wants to take these two men down a peg. And he told me the best way he can think of to do that is by taking the Heat Seekers Tag Team Championship. And now Elliot Russell being compared to poultry by the fans. And wait a minute. No. Well, the referee needs stepping in there very wisely. The Tag Team Championship cannot change hands on a disqualification. But he comes back into the squared circle now and calling for a test of strength against the big man, Brian Logan. One half of the Greco-Roman knuckle lock applied. We get the other one here. And it's interesting to see who has that upper body strength. You think it would be Logan, but look at the arms on Elliot Russell. Very long reach and very flexible, which allows him to bend those wrists back. But Logan fights his way up and a kick to the gut. And there you see, look at, oh! Somebody's going to need some manicure work. And here comes Adkins now, going to work on Elliot Russell. Great wrist lock here. As we see the Heat Seekers in a little bit of trouble here at this point. And it looks like Elliot Russell trying to get Adkins into the corner to break loose. Referee calling for the clean break there. Not really giving a headbutt to Adkins now. Puts him in a disadvantageous position, but his Atkins' speed is something to be seen. And now with that armbar applied, Atkins had Elliot Russell down, but Atkins brings Logan back into the match. You know, it's interesting to see how well Atkins and Logan have gelled together. Granted, they are still very fresh compared to the experience of the Heat Seekers. We talked about this earlier. The Heat Seekers well-traveled. Heat Seekers have had tag team championships too numerous to mention during this match. And now, Sigmund calling for the pin. And only one count there. Now, Logan in a position he does not need to be in. As you see, the Heat Seekers have cut the corner off and doing damage to the spine of the troublemaker. And Elliot Russell now just playing with Logan at this point. Bringing him back up, helping him up. And clubbing forearm. And a second one straight to the back that they just went to work on, and a leg drop by Russell going for the pin. 2 count only though. Brian Logan showing great resiliency out there. And look at the psychological warfare being applied by the Heat Seekers to the sensational one. And this is where their inexperience as a tag team comes into play. Atkins, maybe with a little more experience with his partner, would have known not to go in there. Now the Heat Seekers with an axe handle and a clubbing forearm. They're keeping Brian Logan grounded. Now, fantastic headbutt by Sigmund straight to the shoulder of Logan. 2 count only though. Here, a 2 count and a tag brings in Elliot Russell again. Look at this. Probably in the last minute and a half, we've seen at least 2-3 tags by the Heat Seekers, whereas Logan is exhausted. Atkins very quick to break up the pin there. Very wise. That could have been all. And this is what Logan needs. He needs that moment to recuperate as Russell argues with the referee. And there you go. This is what we can see out of Brian Logan. He's trying to fight. He's very dazed though. Logan getting gripped off the ropes. Russell going for that clothesline, but no one's there, and a double clothesline takes both men down. But look at the way that Logan flipped over. Logan is not in the position he needs to be in. And that could play to the disadvantage of the Sensational Troublemakers tag team. Matt Sigmund coming back in, but here comes Sensational Wayne Atkins. And Atkins cleaning house with that big right hand of his. Whipping Sigmund off the ropes and a textbook drop kick. Atkins quick to go for the pin. What? New champions possibly? No! And a breakup. Stops the crowning of new tag team champions. And now it's pandemonium out here. As the referee trying to gain some composure. Atkins and Russell on the outside, who I believe are still the legal man, and Sigmund and Logan in there, but Sigmund with the super kick. Referee called for
Still WFS World Tag Team Champion.
Whoa!
Well, fight fans, it's all come down to this. The World Tag Team Championships will be on the line. The Heat Seekers defending against these two men that have had a lot of trouble with Elliot Russell and Sigmund. That, of course, Sensational Wayne Atkins and the troublemaker Brian Logan. And Brian, a lot on the line here for you. Not just championship gold, but those coveted boots. What's the strategy? What is going through the mind of Brian Logan and Wayne Atkins?
Somebody say something about I'm going to get my boots back, and along that road, while I'm getting them boots back, I'm going to take those big old belt buckles from around your waist. See, I've got the perfect partner right here in Wayne. Between us, we've got numerous hundreds of matches. And you guys are no slouch. You've had a few thousand matches yourselves. That's why you're the World Tag Team Champions for now. But would you have the belts as long as you've had it if you didn't have my boot, making sure that it cleared the path for you guys to defend those belts? So coming up real soon, you're going to have to defend those belts and those boots against Wayne and myself.
Nothing more to be said there. The Tag Team Championship confrontation coming up. But for now, let's go back to ringside.
Two really hungry competitors in the ring now. As you got Chris Magnus taking on Dirty Joe. Shut up! We've seen Dirty Joe here before. We've previously seen Chris Magnus. He's a fan favorite. The fans love him. He's got to show some certain aggression. He's got to be able to go left-hand side. I don't know where he's going to get it from tonight. Deep inside of him, if he's going to even go toe-to-toe with Dirty Joe. Yeah. Magnus is giving up a lot of weight here, but he gives up in weight. He makes up for it in speed. Oh, he's incredibly fast. And he's actually been showing great promise lately. Yep. He's currently on the roster, but he's one of the largest ones. That's what I was going to say. Did I take the words right out of you? You did. You actually did, Abel. That's because your lower jaw was dropped just a little bit too much. Dirty Joe trying to stay calm and Magnus is on the rope. Dirty Joe may have underestimated this young man. And Dirty Joe now taking a corner to the space between him and Chris Magnus. While Joe is begging for mercy. I don't know, this could be dangerous for Magnus to give Joe time to get his composure back together. I agree, John. Absolutely. He's just going to be taking that time to allow Dirty Joe to get walk around and take the type of match that they're going to have. I don't agree with this, Chris Magnus. I don't agree with this. Now, Greco-Roman knuckle lock. Wait a minute. Chris Magnus looking there these days. Yes, he is using the rope. No, does not get to use the rope. finisher here pretty quickly. Magnus with that suplex. Coming off again here, and knee right to the 2. Not only that. I'm not sure Dirty Joe knows how to do that. One finger missing is still 5 on one hand, correct? I never understood that, because I always thought the thumb was not supposed to be counted as a finger. Well, maybe that's what he was biting with the thumb. Brother Joe, I mean, he's just drawing away Magnus out here. Disrespect being shown by Dirty Joe to the fans. Well, his name is Dirty Joe after all. Magnus trying to fire back. And he is getting it. Going back to a 4th here. But a punch to the head has a little more effect. Wouldn't you suggest? That would stop you right in your tracks. Then, you got though. If he had really tried to cover him, I think he should have gotten it. It was kind of a lackadaisical thing. I'm looking at state for the time. That's still the obvious aggressor in this match. Yeah. And I tell you, Joe's really staying on top of Magnus, which is what he needs to do. Well, he's obviously doing it. He's right here. Here's Magnus. He's not pivoting. He can go out. They was able to reverse into a this side, but he can't go out. Yeah, can't get it going. Tries to pick him up to bring him down to the ground. A dirty tactic of his own. Yeah, man. Now, Joe down here. I tell you what, Joe, he needs to rethink what he needs to do. And he doesn't. He doesn't think too long. There's more less thinking. He gets that elbow, but I mean, look at the way that Joe was pushing that arm when he got out. Just kicking away at Magnus. He might favor that arm a little bit, but I don't think he's worse for wear. Still seems perfectly in control of Chris Magnus right now. Until that happened, of course, Chris Magnus now needs to capitalize quickly. There's an elbow for another high-risk maneuver. Is he going to make it this time? Yeah, he did! Magnus throws a 1-2! Wow! Chris Magnus got all of that into a combination. Dirty Joe kicks out at 2 on his feet. Chris Magnus not strong enough to get the big one down. No, he's not. Goes for the second time. Right, speaking of miss. Chris. Oh, stunner out of nowhere. 2. Oh, I really thought that was it. I thought that was in the crowning achievement, the glory of Chris Magnus finally eking out a win over competitor such office. Dirty Joe. I think at this point he may be underestimating Magnus pretty quickly. Underestimating. I don't think he knows where he is after that. Oh wait, Joe's got him up. Here, sit down. Here's your winner, Dirty Joe. Well, give it up to Magnus for the effort. The effort was there, the heart was there. Dirty Joe's tactics and strength. He was just a superior competitor. I hope we get to see more of Dirty Joe at some point in the future. We're going to have more World Fighting Showcase. This message.
This is not just a podcast. House of David with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted superfans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore. House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
Has it been a while since you've been to Memphis? Maybe TWA? Maybe dance in the kitchen till the morning light? Louisiana Saturday night? Well, please come to Boston. We've got lots of room. The greatest territories of all time. Travel to WrestleRewind.com, the network for real wrestling fans.
Fight fans, Dallas Danger here, and if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week, but you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, have seats again underway already. Very heated debate here between Brian Logan, these teams, Brian Logan, well, I mean, this goes way back to the premiere episode of WFS Showdown. Brian Logan was attempting to retire. The Heat Seekers were going to find themselves to come out of Brian Logan and take his precious boots, as you see on Sigmund's right foot, and just kept continuing week after week. Wayne Atkins shows up, has Logan's back, has taken it to the Heat Seekers once or twice, and now Logan and Atkins finally got what they want, a shot at the tag team titles here. This has been a story in the making, folks. Here is your main event tonight, the World Fighting Showcase Tag Team title belts on the line. And I'll tell you what, if there's anybody who can take the tag team title off of the Heat Seekers, the sensational troublemaker. Well, I wouldn't be so sure of that. One of the champions. Why would I want to side with the champions? Okay, so they got the championship advantage, but I call that cheating. I was the illegal man. Why Sigmund was the illegal man? Sigmund was over in the corner. Logan was just open pointing him back. Brandon Logan with his elbow. He was pointing him in the right direction. I see. You see, Jonathan, when a wrestler retires, there's traditionally they leave their boots in the middle of the ring. Which is what happened, as you said. And Sigmund now has Brian Logan's one of his almost as a sign of disrespect and to throw a little mud in the face of Brian Logan. And Elliot Russell wearing the other. I mean, just look at the way. I mean, how disrespectful do you have to be to leave the Heat Seekers and do that to Brian Logan? They obviously have Brian Logan. Maybe there's some deep secret hatred that we don't know. Got going home. Atkins takes out Elliot. The sensational one. He's got it back up, but here comes Troublemaker finally into this. Side hammerlock here. He's by Logan. To Elliot. Elliot backs him into the corner. I tell you what, there he's using his hands. Well, that's the same thing gloves with Brian Logan. No, absolutely not. Anybody will tell you that. You see Logan there, he's just continuing to pummel away a one-after tag team champion. Atkins coming back in. And axe handle straight to the ribcage there. And like I say, you're going to see great tag team double action from both of these the sensational trouble. Yeah, Ty brings in Sigmund here. And see, that's the thing, they're both so experienced at tandem. Neither tag team really has an advantage of being the fresh opponent, the fresh man in the ring. We've seen great action.
The door, and Piper just throws Tommy into me. Ronnie, what happened?
Freebirds attracted attention wherever they went. Michael didn't mind the attention. In fact, he relished, he loved the attention.
Paul Heyman lies. That's Paul Heyman in a nutshell.
I had a match between Rock and Triple H. Well, hey Hunter, I think you might want to try the suplex. Sure. Yeah, right. Yeah. Some people have a knack for it to just set it up and have this magic. Pat could do it.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted superfans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore. House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
Fight fans, Dallas Danger here, and if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week, but you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
Tonight, there's really no either way. I can't say that it's going to be the sequence of the love to yeah. Right now, Atkins has 3 cookies receiving the picture. Standing right there. That is a standing pride of a champ, Jonathan. Sigmund there, he pushes down. Left hand. Countdown. And Sigmund now. Possibly, yeah. I thought he was going to tag Elliott at this point. Sigmund's in control. He doesn't need help just yet. No, that's the only help he needs right there. And there's a tag. And you can see our first team in this match today cut that from the half table. Well, that's what you have to do. You don't tell the champions nothing. Now, oh, wait a minute. Come on. That's not needed. Sigmund doesn't need to be doing that. Well, Brian didn't need to point him in the ring. Sigmund was just Jumping him back down. Back down, my eye. You can see Russell there. Dave said, no, I ain't going down. I got too much heart. I got too much fight. Told Russell an impressive shot for himself. He's over 6'4", 240 pounds. And wicked elbow, quick work on that. Logan came in there. I mean, Brian Logan, no secret, is known for his temper sometimes. Oh, his temper will get the worst of him right now. What kind of did there is because the referee had to push him back. I think that's what the Heatmakers are counting on. They know they can get inside the head of Brogan. They know they're already inside the head of Brogan. I mean, heck, they're already inside his boots. Oh, Ava, come on, you're better than that. I'm really not. His hands get behind Logan and Wayne Atkins. He could be going to dreamland. No! You see Atkins? I don't know where he's getting it from. Tell you what. Oh, what a jawbreaker by Atkins. Both men. Yeah. Atkins in serious trouble. Both men are in serious trouble. Can the referee hurt him? Who's the only that gets the advantage to treatment? He's closer to his opponent than Atkins is to Logan. And he knows it. Yeah, and here comes Logan about into the ring. Now that's fine. Keep your ready for the fight. See those big hands there. Oh, really claiming a forearm. Come on. I don't think they're legal. I see nothing. A leg drop. Go for the pin on Atkins. Wayne Atkins definitely has some reserves in the tank for certain. Yeah. He's got to make a tag out. Yeah, I mean, Atkins does not make a tag soon. And he could have got the tank. You see that? You see how he's got his wrist and forearm tucked around his chin? That could almost be a tag. That has to get in there. The referee checking it very closely. Wayne's arm drops. That's a choke. Putting him to sleep, Jonathan. Yeah, this could be a major upset for both. Wait, and goes down. No! They go down again! Brian Logan like a stalking on the outside of the ring apron. Pacing back and forth trying to get his tag team partner to sit up on his feet, and he does. He does. Excuse me. Atkins fighting his way. Russell stopped him. Yeah, Atkins almost struck him on an instinct angle. And that's what he's working on. Not emotion, instinct. Fight of his life. Yeah, but an eye poke will slow anyone down, as we've seen. That referee is having a very hard time. Referee Shot is having a very hard time. Looks like both men are willing to go to any length. Well, I mean, come on, on the line to score the victory. Yeah, but how often is it that you get a shot at the tag team championships? Not very often. Yeah, Atkins and Logan know this. They're gonna have to pull. They're trying to pull on the spot. The Heat Seekers are really the ones causing all the disturbance and the trouble here. The troublemaker is getting trouble thrown his way. And they're 5 times fast. And the Atkins though is so strong that he's got all this going through his body. I can't imagine what it's coming from. I'm amazed at the conditioning of Atkins at this point. I'm nothing short of something. Try having a man that size, Sigma's size. He's under your head for 3 minutes. Trust me, you're not going to have much wherewithal. You're not going to know what's going on. Atkins now looked over. Wait a minute, we can try to make a quick tag. Oh, he got that! Unbelievable by Atkins. Who's going to make that tag? Oh no, Atkins is going to the wrong corner. Atkins doesn't know where he is right now. Oh shoot, yes he does! Logan comes in! Takes it to Elliott. Takes it to second. Elliott down. point. On the outside. Right, left is trying to get a hold of it. No, Logan's going to get his boot back on. Logan's trying to rip the boot off of Simmons. Wow, to the wrist. Was loaded. The referee didn't see anybody use the boot, but no, Brian unfortunately had it in his hand. He was holding on to that possession for dear life. Oh my God. And obviously, ladies and gentlemen, referee Chuck Hughes has reversed his decision. Brian Logan has been disqualified and still WFS World Tag Team Champions, the Heat Seekers. He did not win the war. He got the boot back, but he did not secure the World Fighting Showcase Tag Team titles. Yeah, but mark my words, Abel, this is far from over. We'll see you next time for more World Fighting Showcase Showdown. Hello, fight fans. Dallas Danger here. And if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week. But you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.